Okay, what's up, everyone? Mark here. Welcome to my podcast. I believe I'm on episode 10. I think 10. Yeah. And today I have my first trio. I have Mafana.
Let's go.
Mafana Media. Welcome, guys.
Appreciate it.
Welcome, man. Like I said before, this is my first time having a trio on here. So yeah, we'll see how this one goes.
Yeah, grateful to be here. Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a good space in here.
Yeah. It's a tight space, but we make it work. I'll make it work. Yeah. So just a bit of a backstory. We'll start with that on how we crossed paths. Maybe I'll hand it over to you guys if you want to share how we met, and we'll go from there.
So,
Back in
we met Mark on a shoot we all did for Mafana Academy. But yeah, I didn't know who Mark was at that time. But when we started following Mark, I was just like, damn, this guy's work is great, especially when he pushed out that first video. And just our first initial conversation, and you were just so... I think Meliane had already told you a little bit of my backstory as far as like the videography thing. Yeah. And you were interested, and you picked my brain straight away, and I was like, you know what? Like we're in the middle of like shooting, and you still had time to... And that's what I appreciated about you, because you gave me tips too. So you were kind of like the rope for me and Meliane too. For me, you were kind of like the rope on that specific event too. So I was just watching. Like I was shooting, but I was just watching you. I think Charles was there.
Yeah, there was heaps of us.
Yeah, Charles was there.
Heaps of
was there. There was a lot, and that's how we met. We crossed paths with you.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think we connected with you quickly because you were so warm and welcoming. And what resonated with me was that you took time to teach between the creative space and shooting at the Mafana show as well. And for us, like that meant a lot because we're still new in this space. We're still babies. And so for someone like you to step in and teach us in between, like we really valued that as well. And so when you took that time, we were like, nah, we like Mark. We want to be like you.
Mark is up. Thank you, Mark.
Yeah. We're grateful.
Man, but that event was massive, eh?
Massive.
Man, that event was massive. I remember like bit of context, the Princess of Tonga came there, and I didn't know the boundaries.
Oh my god! Backstory.
Can you elaborate? So basically, when you go in front of any sort of person like the Princess of Tonga or the King of Tonga, you don't turn your back on them, or you don't directly face them, or it's always on the side, or just never directly in front.
But also the level of
just the level. So if you were to go directly in front of the princess, you gotta either kneel down, or you gotta kind of show the respects to whoever the important person is. And then I think I forgot his name.
It was your uncle.
Yeah, so one of the matapules for the Queen.
Oh, that's the name of them.
Yeah.
Those guys.
The spokesman.
Yes.
So all I heard was like, I was like, oh my gosh.
I had a heart attack. I was like, who's he talking to?
So I was thinking it was you and, I'm so bad with names, and the photographer.
Wait, which one? Was it
you always partner
Charles's?
up with her?
Oh, Faye.
Yeah. I think you've both was trying to cross to get your angle.
Yeah, that's right.
I felt so like
my heart was like, bro, you dropped to the ground. You almost did like a burpee, like the way that you dropped to the ground.
I just see
we'll go fitness.
And I was just like, damn. So
that was the first time we met.
Honestly, I went red for you. I was just like.
No, I was red. Like I can't see the red, but I get it. Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. Not gonna lie, that not long after that happened to you, I did the exact same thing. Yeah. I stood up and took a photo of the princess, and then I got told off to it. I was like,
that was because I remember when I stood up to go walk back down to the back. There was this lady who goes, don't turn your back, you gotta. And I was like, damn. And I had to like put it in reverse, and then. Turn around and run.
Man.
But yeah, like stuff like that. It's an experience that we've all experienced. But it's, there's some funny memories too. We can take back.
100%. I had like even Friends by B and Charles brought it up. And I was like, no.
No, it's the way they kept trolling you on
the comment section.
Bro, leave Mark alone.
Man, so yeah, like a bit of backstory on this one. They're right. You guys are 100% right. So before that, me and Faye, we were on the other side. You were on one side, right?
We were on the stage.
I was where the band was.
Yeah, yes.
Like I was on that corner. Yeah. And we were down, like me and Faye, because she was like, oh, where do we go? And I go, I think we stay here. Yeah, we stay here. You know, they had a live there. You remember there was someone going live on an actual camera. Yeah. So I saw that camera move in. Like I saw that camera go towards the princess.
Did you think that was your...
Exactly, yeah. So in my head, I was like, we can do this. We can go close. So that's why I shifted. Yeah, that's why I was moving. And like, so that's your uncle?
Yeah, so
shout out to his uncle, man.
Shout out to
his uncle.
I just found out, honestly, I found out we were related to him like after it.
Yeah.
But because
Did
my
you have
dad,
my back when you...
I was just like, didn't have to be that mean. Yeah, because a little bit of a backstory about that. So my dad's side, we are the right hand man spokesman for the king of Tonga.
Yeah. Okay.
So every whoever is in our bloodline, wherever like we step up and kind of be the right hand man. Yeah, so for the royal family.
So one day you could be...
No, I don't think it will get to me. I'll probably have like, if you choose, but because there's a lot of my cousins and my uncles are in front of me as far as that line.
Would it depend on availability as well? Like, let's say like if there's no one else available, but you were,
so
then you could?
There's going to be a representation. Like, for example, you've had the representation of my uncle, which is...
Bless his heart.
But you have to be very strict on that type of stuff.
Yeah.
So
I understand.
It's a learning curve for everyone because sometimes I forget too. She's forgot, you forgot. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I knew what to do and I still forgot.
Man, like when that happened, I got down like straight away because I was numb, like I was frozen. Because I was like, oh my gosh. And I looked at Faye. Faye's looking at me because she's Samoan,
Yeah.
So she's looking at me to
what's
translate.
going on.
Yeah. But I couldn't because I was stunned there. I was like,
as soon as I seen you two get down, I looked over to her and like just the confusion and the embarrassment I seen on her face. I was like, poor girl.
Yeah. And my camera was facing down, right?
Yeah, I seen you went like that
because I didn't know. Like, I was like, okay, I can't. There was someone behind me as well. I don't know.
I think it was Faye was right behind you or near you.
Yeah, someone like there was another creator. Confess. Wherever you was behind
let's watch the live. Let's watch the live back.
But I think that there was someone because I went down and that was the person I was chatting with.
Was it big?
Oh,
I don't know. Like I was like, we can't move or something like that. We just stayed there because she's coming now.
Rainbow.
The princess.
It could have been Rainbow or Chris Endeavour.
Rainbow.
Yeah.
Nah, because Chris was on the side with you guys.
Oh yeah, so it was with us.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, so
I was at the front.
Because I looked at your guys' corner too.
It was me,
I saw
Charles,
there.
Miliane.
But I knew, I'm like, that's it. Like, I knew my time was up.
I saw in that moment, my heart dropped for it. I was like, we actually should have briefed. We probably should have briefed everybody before.
I think that they did because we had that meeting before. But then again, like, that was maybe a week before.
Yeah,
so I forgot. Yeah.
So I think what also made it worse for you is it's not the way you went down, but where you went down, not how you went down, it's where you went down. And you were just surrounded by by kids, and he just stood out. It was like, I cannot mask it with my imagination. No. But like the way you went down, and then I just like, it's like everyone had their eyes on you.
Where were you? I mean, you should have been with me on my side, man.
I think at that time I was in Melbourne. Yeah, I was in Melbourne with my mum. Yeah, I think that was the Mother's Day week as well.
Yeah.
And then I went to go see mum because she's like, oh, are you going to come down for Mother's Day? I was like, okay, fine. So then I went, and then these guys, I seen the videos from home there. I was like, wow.
Missed it.
This is crazy.
Oh, right.
This is cool.
It was a
Oh,
massive event.
Yeah. And that was my first Tongan event. That was my first one. So I remember when I got asked to do it, I talked to a few people. My mum was one of them, and my mum was like, "Oh," and I was like, "What do you think?" And she's like, "Oh, have you ever done anything for Tonga?" Like I was like, "Nah." She goes, "This would be nice," but even better because the princess was coming.
Yes.
So I was like, "Okay, cool." And then, man, shout out to my other mate, Redeemer Visuals.
Yeah,
He was
yeah,
another
yeah.
one that messaged me, and he said to me, it's good. It'll be good for me.
Great.
Yeah, and man, you were not wrong. He was right.
He learned the culture.
Yeah, I love the day.
Yeah.
It's something completely different from what I normally do. But in saying that, because it's different, it made me excited, like to do it. Yeah. I think that's how it works for me. Does that work for you guys? Like, when you guys do something that's first time doing it, do you guys get excited about
because
it?
it's like
Adrenaline.
I don't know about you, but like there's a little bit of fear there, but more excitement.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what you're getting yourself into. So experience.
Yeah.
Experience.
So I kind of jumped the line, but we'll just do a quick introduction here.
Oh yeah, I was just
forgot.
thinking that too.
Yeah, so maybe we'll start with Miss Mele over there.
Hello, everything. My name's Meleane Fifita. I'm from Kolomotua in Mukaha'apai.
Let's go.
And pretty much was born there but raised here in Australia. Grew up in Sydney, Melbourne, and then here in Brisbane. Everything, all the things. But yeah, just grateful to be here, Mark. Like as we mentioned when we first met you at Mamana, for us, we want to be able to network and build relationships with people who align with our values and creativity. And just meeting you in that first night, we already picked that. You have a massive heart, and we want to be able to learn from people like you. So when you messaged and asked for us to be on your podcast, honestly, we were so excited.
Oh, sure.
And I'm just happy to be here to have the conversation. But I'll let these two introduce themselves. Shout out to these two. Very grateful to them both. And when we go on to explain, I guess, the story and how we all came together, they both come with their own journeys, their talents, but very grateful. The reason why Mafana is what it is today is because of these two. So I'll let you guys introduce yourself.
Us three.
Nice.
It's the freeze.
Nice. We'll start with the man here.
My name is Viliami. Viliami Motuapuaka. Well, my family from Tonga.
Is it?
Yeah. So we're from Tekio and was Philemon. Yeah. So that's what. This is my uncle Willie. Same name. Named after different people. But yeah. Yeah. My mom's side. Mom's side from Leimatua in Vava'u. And I'm not really. Yeah.
No, all good.
Yeah, that's pretty much where my family is from in Tonga. I'm originally from Melbourne. I only moved up to Brisbane last year. I think around February or end of Feb. End of Feb is when I moved down. Moved down for footy. Was trying to go to school here, but didn't get accepted. But it is what it is. But I think it was a good thing for me. I guess it was like come and kind of get to stand on my own 2 feet and kind of just slowly get to know what it's like to be in the world by yourself. Not by yourself, but kind of like be on your own 2 feet here most of the time. There's our mum and dad and stuff. They're all in Melbourne, and I just moved up by myself.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But I still stayed with family. But yeah.
Are you the only child, was that? Or
No,
you
not
having
only
siblings?
child. I came after my sister came up here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was just us two. I have a little sibling back in Melbourne, so she's still staying with mum and dad.
Nice.
But yeah, just me. And
Sure.
the journey of Mafana is obviously it's being the youngest, I like kind of just sit back and just see everything. I'm just like, okay, this how they do stuff. This is like what I like learn from them, especially Meliane and Vili.
Yeah.
Obviously the older ones that I look up to. Obviously, I think they've been the only two I've looked up to be honest. Being here,
That's good.
Better stop it before you make me cry.
Sorry, it's a bit.
Some good lines there. Yeah.
But yeah, the Mafana journey has been, I don't know, it's like exciting, but with a lot of emotion hitting behind it.
Yeah. Oh man.
But yeah,
that's
just,
good.
yeah, a little bit.
Bless your heart, Ami,
bless.
man. Bless your heart.
Well, yeah, our first time meeting Mark.
Yeah.
Obviously these two have told me a bit about you and showed me your work. I seen when you popped out that video, really showed me, and I was like, whoa! I almost thought that was us because your name was Mark and it's out of an M, and they shared it. So I was like, did we do that video? And then I looked back and I was like, Mark. I was like, oh no, we didn't do that. It was Mark. And I was like, I'm sharing that because like I seen the videos. I was like, wow, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
man. Appreciate you.
video.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
But yeah, first time
What
meeting
video
you.
you start talking about? But I'm like,
The
It was the first one.
from Mamana.
oh yes. Oh, sorry.
The
So
sorry.
that's-
reaction,
yeah.
the reaction to the
Yeah,
prince.
yeah.
and stuff,
Oh,
So
yeah.
That was like my
You're
first.
like,
I'm like, which one?
Yeah, that was my first introduction to you. I was
nice,
like, wow,
nice.
yeah, this is cool. And then she's like, oh, we got a podcast. I was like, I'm going to be on a podcast. So I was like, wow, that's crazy.
Nice.
So yeah, I can't wait to show mum and dad.
Yeah.
So after
yes,
it comes
yes,
out,
yes,
yeah.
yes.
Haven't told them anything, but yeah.
Shout out to Ami's mom and dad, man. There's one for you. See, your son's in good hands here.
Yeah, but yeah, that's a little bit about me and stuff like that. Yeah.
Nice, man. Welcome, Ami.
Thank you, Ami. Lucky last.
Lucky last.
It's the man.
Gonna cry. Hey everyone, my name is William Motuapuaka, same name. I'm named after my grandpa, but Ami's named after my dad, which both have the same name. But yeah, aka T-Power Visuals.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I don't know, a bit about me. I grew up here, I was born and bred in Sydney. Dad being a pastor, so we've moved around a lot, and I'm the youngest of technically 7.
Yep.
And yeah, we've ended up here, so I'm the only one that's not married yet. Yeah,
Are we taking applications?
Yeah, why not?
Comments.
Yeah, moved around a lot. Being my parents being ministers of the church.
Yeah.
Yeah, just I don't know what else to tell you.
That's all good.
But yeah, thank you.
Thank you for everything.
Man, that was an awesome introduction, eh? So you're the uncle.
Yeah, so
How are you two related to?
yeah,
Yeah,
How so?
cousin.
mum, yeah,
cousin.
yeah.
Right,
So
right.
mum's side,
So biologically.
yeah, biologically.
So I'm
She's adopted
I'm
out.
adopted into the Fifita family. So my biological dad's line
Yeah.
is related to his mum.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're cousins, and my nephew.
basically,
Yeah.
that's the baby.
Yeah.
It's everyone's nephew.
So this is a family thing.
Yes.
Yeah. Nice, man. Welcome. Far out.
Thank you.
It's good to hear from you, Ami.
Yeah.
Wow, that was beautiful. So just a bit of a outline. So you're who's from Kolomotua? Your mom, dad?
My dad.
Your dad, yeah.
Yeah.
Same as my dad.
Oh, really?
Yeah. My dad's from Kolomotua.
Wow.
Like whereabouts in
Yeah.
Kolomotua?
We're in
I really don't know.
Yeah, that's
to be
okay,
honest.
yeah.
But like he is from Kolomotua because I went there like a lot when I was young.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's where my grandparents stayed. But they've passed away now. So my grandpa was the last to go, and then that was the last time I visited that place. But my mom is from Vava'o. Yeah.
Oh, true.
Yeah. So Hunga?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's where I think she's from. But she's from Vava'o, yeah. I don't know, is Vava'o like a fair skin spot? Like is it fair skin Tongans come from there?
Yeah.
You're fair skin as well. But I'm like
I think it
just
goes. But I
wondering.
feel like the islands off the main island.
Yeah.
That's where you find the fair skin. Like even Hapai is known for fair skin people. So
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
from both of them. Like myself too.
Yeah.
Dad's originally
Cause my mum's hair is the same.
Yeah,
like
Blondie.
yeah. So I'm like, man, I wonder if this is.
I think back when the Germans and the French people came to town,
True.
and then voila.
Well, true. Yeah. So we're just gonna fast track a little bit forward now. When did your Mafana start?
Last year, I volunteered for a Tonga Rugby League club called Southern Stallions, and it was their first year running, and they just needed some help pumping out their media to bring in the players.
Yeah.
And so I was using my iPhone to push out content that would draw in the attention or would make young people feel proud to share. So then that way it'll bring more young people to the club.
So what year is this?
Last year.
Oh, this is last year?
Yep.
Oh, wow. Where? Here in Brazil?
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, this is last year. And so because I had no experience in using a camera, it was literally just my iPhone. The first day that it was their launch date for their training, someone messaged the Charles messaged Stallions and was like, hey, I would love to come out and shoot just to support the Tongan community.
Yeah.
And I was all for it because whatever it takes to push the content out there, I was open to it. So Charles came to the launch of the first training for Southern Stallions, and he brought B came as well. So that's how I met those two. So they came in. He pulled out his camera, his stabilizer. She started taking shots. He had a drone, had his mics, and just watching all of that.
Yeah.
To me, I was like, goals. Like that was it.
Yeah,
and so, and not only that, but the results that he pulled from that first video, it blew up. It put Southern Stallions on the map, and that's where it started. The idea of actually that was the first time I saw a representation of a couple really driving the media. So then that's where it sparked the interest to be able to run that as well.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And so shout out to Charles and B.
Yes, sir.
Shout out Charles and B.
Shout out Frames by B.
And
Charles,
yeah.
Sorry.
So thank you. So it started getting traction. People from New Zealand started hearing about Southern Stallions. The Sikamano Cup blew off. Wow. Went off. Sorry.
Oh, God.
Went off. And then so the tournament for Sikamano, it was a huge tournament for the Tongan community, especially in rugby league. And so we were expecting, big players to come to watch our kids play. So Christian Wolf, which is the head coach of the Matematonga team. So those kind of caliber of people were coming to the event.
Wow.
And I didn't feel, I didn't feel, what's the word? I don't know, walking around with my iPhone in a big event like that. So what I did was I was looking for a videographer. And because I originally reached out to Charles, and he had a wedding in New Zealand, so he couldn't actually come. So I was like, damn, like what am I gonna do? So I started posting on social media. I was like, I'm looking for a videographer to come and support me on the day. Another cousin of ours reached out and said, hey, Vili, he does videography. And I was like,
oh, true.
When I first heard that, I was like, when?
I thought the same. I was like, really does videography?
I was like, when? And then I was surprised because we went to go help her out for fundraising for the Stallions.
Yes.
And she goes, I never knew you did videography. And I was like,
so I never knew.
I've always had, because I've already had previous experience before I've linked back up with Miliane. So and I found that crazy because I was like, he was putting my name forward. I haven't put anything out since the video clip that I shot on my iPhone 10. But and that was
and
like,
you think that was the one? Like that's why they referred?
Yeah, and I was so confused, and I was like, because I did I was this close with just burying the whole thing, like that whole little talent, that whole little passion.
Oh yeah.
And that's why Miliana will be forever close to my heart because she's helped me reignite that passion again. So
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Man, so that was a blessing.
Yeah, he was.
Right? That was far out.
Shout out to Benny.
Shout out.
Benny who was the one.
Shout out Benny V.
It was Benny V who was the one that said, "Hey, Benny, that's videography," and he was like, "Wait."
I'm like, because I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna take it and run with it.
Yeah.
And then, do you want to elaborate a bit more on how we started?
Yeah.
Sorry.
So then I messaged him and I was like, "Really, I need you. I've got a Sikamano Cup tournament coming up. I need a videographer. Can you help me?" And then he was like, "I only have an iPhone. Are you okay with that?" And I was like, "If I get you a camera, would you be able to shoot?" And he was like, "I'll figure it out." I was like, "Okay, cool. Can you tell me what camera to get? Because I don't know." You didn't know.
I don't. Because at that time, my experience with the camera, it was but I don't know. So I was like, you know what, Sony. Because I just because I'm a watcher. Like for me, if I was to buy like this phone, I'll just watch YouTube videos over and over again on different people's different opinions. It's not that it's just I like the detailed stuff for something. I geek out on that. Like,
so you learned pretty good from YouTube.
Yeah, so YouTube.
Like, we're talking prior, right? To this camera was bought.
Yeah, so it was that too. Plus, I haven't even touched the Sony camera in my whole entire life before this. It was Canon.
What's the time span on this? Like, so you're reaching out to him, and then like, when did this need to be done?
A week.
Yeah, it was like a week.
Okay, so you're
Yeah.
sussing this out like a
within
week.
the week, yeah. Right. And so when I said, what camera do I get? He just said Sony. So I looked at my budget and then and I looked at the cameras and I bought a Sony
A6400.
A6400.
Nice.
That was
which
our
we still
first
use.
camera.
Nice.
Which we still use.
And so then got the camera. So he was going to take care of the videography. I then bought a stabilizer for my iPhone because I was like, all right, so I'm still going to work with what I know, which is my iPhone. So, and then he arrived on the day of Sikamano. I gave him the camera. He
arrived from where?
I met her at the Sikamano comp.
Oh.
And then, not first time meeting, but I just met her there. She goes, I got the camera with me. I'll just meet you there. And then, I think when I pulled up, I've already seen another videographer with his camera stabilizer. I was like, damn, you know what I mean? Oh. I'll just do what I when I'm used to and just go out there and shoot.
Yeah.
And she just says a memory card. I'm like, put it in today. And then like at that time, I kind of already had my head wrapped around the ISO and stuff.
Yeah.
What threw me off is how Sony, like trying to get used to the Sony settings. Like, where do I, frame rate, frames per, So all of that type of stuff. So I did it. There were some shots there that I was like way overexposed. And I just sat in DaVinci Resolve and try and and
because this is like you just touched the camera.
Right?
So like that's massive already.
Yeah.
And like there's a couple of things that would probably be going on. Did you feel pressure in that?
I didn't feel pressure because at that time I was more excited rather than I was more excited just to like go out there and reignite this little passion that I had kept hidden. But before that, I was just like on a small scale. I was doing content for gym people and myself too. But and then
far out.
Yeah,
fast track into
so then Sikamano happened, and what he pulled from the Sikamano Cup, I was blown away with it because I was like, I've seen his gym content, and so backtracking, when Benny messaged and said he's done videography, all I saw on his profile was gym content. Yeah. So I didn't know at what level or capacity he was able to shoot. And so what I saw from what he pulled from the Sikamano Cup, I was like, he's got talent. He's got something. Sure. I don't know why he's hiding it. So then because I saw that and the skill level, I just wanted to work with it and really draw that out from people. Is this okay? Okay.
Oh, good. Sorry.
And then so then we started working together.
Ami,
Ami was always there.
it was just
Oh, so
Oh, wait,
you.
no. Ami played for Southern
he
Stallions.
played for the under-18 Southern Stallions.
Oh yeah.
And then
So I was always dropping him
Yeah.
home after training and
Yeah.
getting to know him and what his passion is. His passion is music, beats production.
Yes.
And so that's where that started. Then, we wanted to learn each other's skills. So then that way, if there was ever a project that one of us couldn't make it to, because we're all across it, someone will always be available to look after it.
Yeah, yeah.
How Mafana Media came about,
I think it's when Ami wanted to actually join us. So we did a couple of videos that went viral and stuff as far as Ami's interviewing.
Yeah, yeah.
And I don't know. I
Oh,
think
so you were like not just filming, but you're also doing interviews.
content as well.
Like
yeah.
the whole
For
package. It
Stallions,
sounds like.
yeah. So
Yeah.
Miliana's the brains.
Yeah.
I'm just the full soldier, so whatever.
Sit.
And it,
Ah.
yeah, so she's just like,
humble.
dude, we should do interviews. And I was like, sweet. Well, and then initially, Miliana came up with the question of like the music, like, what's your favorite island? And was there a video that blew up before that?
Oh,
was
yeah,
it the-
no, we went to Fan Day.
Yeah, it was a fan day actually, the Tonga and Samoa fan day.
Oh,
And
yeah, yeah.
That's
yeah,
where we
yeah.
met Redeemer Visuals.
Yeah, the Parker
Yeah,
Films.
yeah.
Was it
Oh,
Parker
was it
Films?
Parker Films?
Parker
What,
Films.
Where was that? Up north or something?
Yeah,
or
it was at
was
the
that a
Dolphins.
stadium, eh?
Yeah,
Dolphins.
Dolphins.
The
KO
Dolphins.
Stadium.
Yeah. This year.
Last
Somewhere,
year.
what? Oh,
Last year,
yeah.
Towards
yeah.
the end of the year or something?
It was
Or-
Yeah.
it was basically back to back after Sikamanu. Was it?
Yeah. So it started at Sikamano,
Yeah.
and then we just found that the content was popping off on Southern Stallions page,
Yeah.
and then we thought, this is our content.
Yeah, we just wanted something because we were without telling each other that
Yeah.
we were all in this together and this is what we wanted to do.
Yeah.
We just kind of like, all right, sweet, there's us three there. We'll go and do some interviews, and I kind of threw her in the deep end.
Yeah.
And yeah, which is a story about a spatula that we bought from a service station on my way to
Yeah.
the Dolphins. And
Oh, just clip the mic to the spatula.
because I was like, oh, it's kind of rude to like shove someone like when you interview. So I was like, we need something longer. So I came out of the petrol station and I was like, oh, I think that I walked past the spatula. And Milanda's like, how much is it? I walked in, came out, I was like, 5 something. She grabbed some coins, gave it to me, bought it, and that's how we started that spatula with us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did the interview.
So we were interviewing like big NRL players
Yeah.
with this spatula and the mic attached to it. And I think at one point, if the mic flew off the spatula.
Yeah, she flung it at Moses Sully and it just went across his. But there's videos there from memory,
yeah.
and that's how it kind of kicked off. So that video kind of blew up when you tagged the Tonga Rugby League.
Yeah, it blew off, and then I guess we started getting interest in terms of paid jobs. And
Nice.
then that's when we realized, okay, we could really make a business out of this.
I know this. Yeah.
But not only that, I think we really just had fun creating. That
Yeah.
was the main thing. I saw that there was talent, there was a gift.
Yeah.
And I truly believe that God had actually brought us together and that these two are blessed with, there's so much there so much talent that we really need to push out and continue to nurture that. With Ami, with his music, very, very talented and creative, and he just needs a space or an environment of encouragement to really draw that out. And it's the same with Billy as well. And, but when we're together, like us three, it's so annoying because legit the word Mafana is what best describes I truly believe us when we're together. And
Nice.
and so that's essentially how Mafana Media was born.
Nice,
And like we're still
nice.
babies in this realm of things. Like we're still learning. We want to connect with people like yourselves who are way ahead of the game, but we want to learn the skill level. And in terms of like direction, because we all three of us have 3 different goals, we're not capped at one specific I think we're quite open to it, but as we learn what that looks like, we might hone into it a little bit more. But
Nice. No, this is cool. This is interesting. So that event was like, what did you say? Like, was a fan day for the Tongans and the Samoans.
Yes.
Yeah.
You already hit IG. You already had a page before that.
No.
No.
When
I think,
when did the page come along?
Oh, it was after.
Yeah, it was after the season, eh?
yeah.
Yeah,
Because we wanted to continue.
yeah. Oh, yeah. So it was after I think the whole Stallions thing where we were just like looking at how much traction he got,
Yeah, yeah.
and then so
Yeah. Now all good, all good.
and then that's when I guess Meliane, she knows how to do all that marketing and stuff. So she's like, oh, let's make a page, and then we're like on board, and we're just like, let's do this thing, like seeing what we can do with Stallions. Why not do it where it's our own brand? Where so that was
Nice. So I got a question for you, Mele. Like, have you always had that? So you're a bit of a business mindset person.
Yeah.
Have you always had that with you, or did you like study that, or
No,
what?
so that developed from when I was, I think, 19, 20. I started a job in door-to-door sales.
Oh, yeah?
That's where it developed.
True.
So before I started door-to-door, I was a very shy person. I wasn't able to articulate my thoughts and feelings very well. My public speaking wasn't that great. And so when you aspire to be something or somebody, you've got to really get out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
Right. And so I had a vision of what the type of person I wanted to become, and I didn't know how to get there. So I went into door-to-door sales because it was completely out of my comfort zone. So, sorry, excuse me. When I started door-to-door sales, there was a business owner. He's Māori descent, and that was the first time I saw a representation of PI in the business world. And so then I started learning from this person, started understanding, the way that how they thought, what their habits were, how they dealt with business, how they build relationships with people, and it developed from there. So and when you work door to door, you work on commission, you're a sole trader. So the journey of understanding business started from door to door sales.
Okay. And I think that's good, because if everything depends on your commission, then you gotta work.
Yeah.
Like you kind of that's the only way you're gonna get your pay, right?
Yeah.
But it's nice to hear that, because it sounds like you took that mentality and then drove it into the team here. Because to be business minded, you gotta recognize the talent. Like, but because you recognized it for them, you kind of installed or reinstalled belief back into them, and then you formed this, which is good. Like for you guys, I didn't I didn't know it was like that. Yeah, so that's really
There's
really nice.
There's a lot. Honestly, there's a lot Meliana does at the back that no one that goes like that doesn't, because you only see what we show you on screen. But
yes.
she can shoot photos too. She can do videos as well.
Yeah.
But as far as like being that backbone for like the Mafana Media, that's all her like marketing genius. Well, in my head.
Yeah.
But
good on you, sis.
she's well, I'm just trying to watch and I'm like, oh, that makes sense. But she's like, sometimes I look, I'm like, that doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
But obviously, we're not built like Meliane.
Yeah.
Yes,
But
you are.
I'm very grateful for Meliane. Honestly, she has been that peaceful, and it just it opens up my mind even further to also to kind of aspire to be like that too, in a similar level, or in a sense. But no, it's been good. It's been a wild journey. Like it feels like we've been doing this for a very long time. But it's been in
Good
such
one,
a short period of
good.
time. So
Yeah, for sure. From last year to now.
Yeah.
Man, I like because I didn't think I got to ask you guys at the event like how did this all start, because we were at the event, right? We had to shoot. Yeah. So just any opportunity we got to talk, we'd talk. I think most of it was when we were eating. Then we could talk a little bit, but it wasn't too much,
Yeah.
So hearing this breakdown from you guys is like, man, to be honest, it inspires me as well, because you're a team of 3, so there's a lot of strengths in numbers. if that makes
Yeah,
sense. For me, I had to learn this all on my own, because of the field that I pursued. And like the business side of it was the last thing
Yeah.
that I had to try and figure out. Like the shooting and all of that came naturally for me because I loved it. Yeah, like I don't know, there's just this beautiful feeling of creating something
Yeah.
that just like, I don't know, it really makes me feel good. So for you guys, you would understand that, But the numbers and all of that stuff was my weekend, because I was just like, how do you put a number to this?
Yeah.
But I'm better now. It just took me long
Yeah.
to get there. Whereas you guys, like it's so good to see because you can all bounce off each other, So you guys started last year, like mid last year or
Pretty much this time last
Back
year.
end, yeah,
this
back end of the year.
okay, yeah, August, September type.
September, October.
Yeah,
September, October-ish.
yeah. And so you were here for a little bit, and then you went back to Melbourne.
Oh, so
Like, were you back and forth or?
No, not really. I just went back for that time where you guys met. That was so I was always staying
true.
with them. I was always here in Brisbane.
Yeah.
But I wasn't too much in it as much as these two.
Yeah.
And then I was kind of just like in the background watching what they were doing.
Yeah.
And then I think Melania was like, oh, you should go do some interviews. And I'm just like, I don't know. Like, yeah, so they kind of just like, yeah, go do interviews, go to your boys and, go to the kids, go interview the, anyone. And I'm just like, I'm okay with like being in front of the camera. It's just like, the pressure that comes with, talking, because sometimes my talking isn't that good.
Yeah.
Like,
oh yeah.
I remember
The first time
I had to run him through it. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I had to run him through it, and I was just like, oh, those guys there, and I was like, just have a hook with you ready, and just hook a reel him in, and I was just trying to think, and we'll just go from girls to guys to different, and I was just like, oh, just ask that girl. There was one point where he goes, oh, I was like, that girl there, which one? I was like, just go, what's the time? After the time, I was like, sweet, you got time for an interview. That's how you reel them in. So it was the same approach I did for Meliana, because I was just like, no, Meliana's got that interview straight away. So I was like, because she's like, no, you do the interview. I was like, slapped the mic on the spatula, gave it to her, chucked her in the deep end. Same thing as we did for Army as well. And those couple of or 3 videos, they kind of blew up too. So it kind of put us even further down to it, especially for interests and it was as far as we just kind of chucked each other in the deep end, to be honest.
You know what though, that's a good way to learn.
yeah
Sometimes going in the deep end, like there's a whole bunch of emotions that hit you, and but I think once you get going, like, then it starts to help you settle in.
Yeah.
I think it's just maybe the first 2 that you got to do is maybe just a bit of an icebreaker, would you say?
Yeah. Because I would go in, he'd turn the camera on and he's just like, just go to anyone. And I'm like, damn, I don't know if I want to ask, just in case they'd be like, no, or like, like, oh no, I don't want to, I'm too shy. And then it's like, I am too. So it's like we're both on the same boat, But I guess it was good to build the confidence. I mean, like, I'm not shy to like talk to anyone or like have a conversation with someone.
Yeah.
It's just like, I don't know, I guess being in front of the camera, it kind of builds up that pressure where it's like, okay, now there's a camera in front of you.
Yeah.
Like, what should I say? Or like, what should I do? But I think every interview I was like getting more confident, wasn't as shaky as much.
Yeah.
And then
So you were ashamed?
yeah.
Yeah.
I was a bit nervous, and sometimes I just like wouldn't know what to say.
Yeah.
And then I think they also like put me in with no questions.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm standing there next to whoever I'm interviewing, coming up with random questions in my head, like, yep, okay, let me ask this next.
Yeah.
Not even processing what they're actually saying. So then I'm like, damn, I watch it back. I was like, oh man.
I like that. I like what you said there, because that's so true. I've been in that spot a lot of times as well. So when someone's giving me an answer, I'm thinking of the next one
Yeah.
as well. Yeah, and then you kind of realize when you watch back, there's no connection.
Yeah.
There's no flow. It's just like full
You're like-
stop onto the next
Anyways.
full stop. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I understand 100%. But it's good. That's nice to hear. You know, yeah. Because how are you now though? How are you now with it?
Yeah, more confident. I feel
Yeah.
like when they're like, okay, let's chuck this on, mic on, ready, and then it's like, yep, walk in,
Yeah.
go to someone and just be like, oh, you want to interview? And then, yep, yeah, let's go. Then just roll.
Yeah.
And then after they'll be like, okay, thanks. And then
Yeah.
go, move on.
Yeah. You might not realize as well, like when people watch this back, like whether they watch it through your page or through like let's say another team's page or whatever, and they see themselves getting interviewed by you, it kind of inspires them, I'm pretty sure. And not just them, other people that watch them be like, okay, next time if someone comes to me with a mic, I'm gonna talk. Because it's like them being on as well, if
Yeah.
that makes sense, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, 'cause-
so you're kind of serving them in that way without realizing it in the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we get like comments under the comment section in the videos, and then they're like, oh, why didn't you interview me? Or like we get messages like, oh, like, we saw you. And then that for us, we're like, okay. But like for us, we know that, okay, they wanted to
be
have that
interviewed.
opportunity to be in the video
Yeah.
or in the interview.
Yeah.
So yeah, for us is like, we kind of like, you know, if anyone comes up to us and they want to be interviewed, let's just let them be in it.
Yeah, yeah.
Because that, yeah, you know, then it makes them happy, but also we get content that we need.
Yeah, yeah.
So kind of like win-win kind of thing.
Yeah. And watch this over time. Over time, when they see you, they'll know that's
Yeah.
the guy that does the interviews. Watch this
That's
over
already
time.
happening.
It's already?
That's already
There
a
you go.
problem. Every time we go, it's like, oh, that's the guy that do an
the guy
interview.
on TikTok.
There you
Yeah.
go.
So he's gonna create a problem for me and Milani. Just want to walk from A to B.
Yeah.
We're gonna
Yeah.
get A, B,
Yeah.
C, D, E, F, G.
It's like, can you
Yeah.
interview me? Can
Oh,
you
me
interview
too.
See, but like back then when you start, you don't know.
No.
You don't realize this, like, you know, until you
The
do
journey.
it long enough. Then
Yeah.
it's like, oh man, dang, this actually feels good. So it's good then, because then now the comfort is like already, like the awkwardness, is already cut out.
Yes.
Because they're coming to you.
Yeah.
They're ready to go. You just have to throw out one question and let them go for it, you
Yeah.
know? So
'Cause-
that's good.
Even when I went to New Zealand, I kind of realized like that
the following?
that our
Yeah.
following was not just here in Brisbane or like Australia. It was in New Zealand as well. I think that's probably one of our biggest, actually, like more than Australia.
Yeah, nice.
I went to New Zealand and funny story. My auntie was like, get your room ready. And to her oldest son, he's like 13. And then he's like, why? And then he's like, your cousin's coming over. It's like, what? Who? And she showed the videos of our interviews and the videos that we did with Javier. And then he's like, Mom, you're lying. There's no way he's coming to say, you don't know him. And then she's like, no, I know him. That's my nephew. And then he's like, nah, Mom, you don't know him. I swear you don't know. And then, yeah, that's, to me, I was like, when I met them, they're like, no way. And then like, they all came, they're like, sup? Like they were saying hi and this and that.
That's my cousin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Meanwhile, this one is probably like real humble, going, why is what's the hype about? You know what I mean? Like, I don't think he realizes.
I didn't
the impact.
realize. I was just like, you know what? They're my cousins. They're just excited because I got, you know, they see that I do videos and stuff like that, and because they're younger too, so they're obviously gonna be excited anyways. And so well, I was talking to them. They were telling me like, my teacher talks about your videos. Like, all the kids at my school, like they talk about your videos and they see your videos with Javier and stuff. They like know you, and I'm just like, damn, like what?
Yeah.
That's
how far the
crazy.
reach is.
Yeah.
And then I'll walk around with them at the shops, and I just like, you can feel eyes on you.
Oh,
I'm just
It's
like,
the famous guy.
I don't like, nah, like,
Whoa.
I'm like, I'm just like, wow,
we're
like
at the army show now.
Yeah.
no, I'm just like, we really like, we really built our Mafana like media thing to that point where it's like people do know us, where we feel like we're still like little, but I guess we haven't been introduced to that the international level yet.
Yeah.
Because we've obviously just been staying in Brisbane. But yeah, I'm pretty sure we
Once
do.
you make that trip, then you know, hey, when you go to NZ, that's international then.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, I was like, I could feel eyes, people like doing those little. Then I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
"Oh, this is
seen
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Must be nice. What does that feel like?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I was like, man, imagine the team coming along, then everyone's be like, that's definitely them. Like, you know. Yeah.
That's so nice to hear. That's so nice to hear. But it always stems back right to the very beginning where you don't know. Like you just don't know the effect, the impact you'll have, until now, like till you're in the spot, right? Then you're like, no. So that's good. That's so good. And it helps you too. I think it brings you a bit of realization for yourself to be like, oh, wow, like this is where it actually helped me get to, without realizing it back then. So it's a bit of, I guess, a bit of gratitude in there. You know what I mean?
So I just wanted to share Ami's journey. So he started off as the person in front of the camera, and we got an opportunity to film the Tonga Union women's rugby like combined in Tonga.
Yeah.
And so I needed a videographer and a photographer, and really wasn't available to travel with us. It was January this year. So he wasn't available to travel with us, and I needed a videographer. But Ami was available, and Ami had no experience in videography. Remember, he was always in front of the camera. We were the ones always behind the camera. And so I don't know, you guys can chat about it, but I think it's like within the week you taught him videography and we went to Tonga. And
I think I only prepped him on like the ISO, the shutter speed, and what was it?
Gimbal.
Oh, it was the gimbal.
Yeah.
So I had the RS3 Mini Pro.
Oh yes.
So I entrusted him with that.
Nice.
And the camera as well. But he's like these two. He will teach himself. They're sponges, honestly.
Yeah.
But yeah, my nephew, he's just you tell him what to, and he's like, oh yeah, sweet. Then obviously through experience, then he will kind of make sense of it. So no, he's basically our all rounder.
Nice.
Yeah. But yeah, how long did I teach you for?
Yeah, I think it was
Was
like
it
a week prior to it. Like probably a week, but like week or two. But it was only like to get me started, so like the basic stuff. And yeah, I guess I had to like look at a few reels from like the NRL reels. So like Panthers, and then you get the Broncos, and then you get, like all those type of content stuff. Because it is rugby. So that's where I was kind of like heading to with the video side of things.
Yeah.
Even though it might not been the exact same, but something similar, yeah.
Because I told him to keep it simple, like have your you punch in, with the gimbal you just push in, come out, do your little orbits and whatnot. I was like close up, wide angle, just experience after. And him and Melania produced some very good videos.
Yeah.
And
That's nice.
Yeah, and that was the first time I guess we, as Mafana Media, went international to Tonga as a videographer who just learned it within the week, a photographer who only just got a camera a couple of months ago, like weeks before that. And so that was the journey in January this year. And Mafana has then become the go-to for the women's rugby for Tonga, the national team.
Wow.
We just finished Oceania, and that was for the women's team. So even though we're rugby focused at the moment, but we do want to expand that. Really, and Ami have different goals as well.
That's so good, eh? I think like I can already feel it already. Like you guys connect really well. Like even though you guys throw each other in the deep end, but you're not in the deep end alone, if that makes sense. Like they did put that on you, but they're still there. You know what I mean? So having that knowledge that they're there, it makes it a bit more comfortable, if that makes sense. So that's really nice to see. Eh? I like it because you guys' media group, I think what separates you guys from everyone else that I know is because you don't just shoot content, you do all that stuff like the interviewing as well. It's a bit, it gives you guys a bit of an edge. Plus you have 3 different personalities as well. So your video is probably different from Ami's video, you know, and likewise for your photos, like that. Yeah. So that's a really good edge to have. You see what I mean?
Thank you, Mom.
Yeah, so like that's awesome, eh? But like I said, I'm just man, I'm just like blown away like over your guys' stories, like how it falls into place because it's really cool. And he's still here.
Yeah, I think we had a chat about this before. That was our point because we're like, what's our point of difference? And I think that's what, like you said, we just bring a broader kind of would you say service?
Yeah.
Or like just a broader type of content to a platform where we're just not very strictly focused on
niche.
on one thing.
Yeah.
It could be a double-edged sword.
It could be because obviously
so.
it'd just limit.
Yeah.
You know, on the other side, it could limit what we can offer or just the people that we bring through as far as traffic.
Yeah.
I want to share Willie's story.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, do you want to tell it? I feel like I'm telling your story.
Tell it because that's what. Well, I don't know if it's our ADHD, but you hear me talk about him and him talking about her, and we just.
Yeah, but I want to. For sure. Talk about.
Do you have ADHD?
Do you?
Talk about Willie's story.
Willie's story. Okay, so his content started. Obviously, gym content. That's number one. That's what he's passionate about.
And I remember talking about that with you at the event. Yeah.
And he started that years ago. Like what year?
2000. It would have been when you probably started. Like I had. So we look back to Tonga where I first had an interest. So back when I went to Tonga for 2 years, I went to school there.
Oh yeah.
So
nice.
On that's when my interest for like just content and I didn't even know what it was back then, but in Tonga, we have nothing else to do. Like the TV is boring to watch. So all the pirated movies and stuff, I was the guy with the laptop in Tonga. So I was the guy with the laptop that had all the movies. Yeah. And every night, like we'd finish homework or male male, which is for you guys, if you don't want male male, it's just touch footy.
Yeah.
So after we do that, have a shower, go eat, and we'll come back and we'll just surround my laptop and we'd kind of just watch movies. And I was just watching, I forgot what movie it was. I think it was Machine Gun Preacher.
Yeah. I thought it was like Pretty Woman or...
Oh, yeah, Pretty Little. Vampire Diaries. So I just sat back and I was like, and it was, I think it was like a kind of like a dolly. I don't know what the name term is, but it was like kind of a push down shot from the top to the bottom, and it was tracking the car. So it was like a, and I was like, that's when it sparked my like interest for how did they make that? Like, how did they even think of an idea to get that shot? Fast forward to going to school. The teacher goes, "Oh, what do you want to be?" I was like, you know what? At that time, I had the passion to make movies and stuff, and I said that I wanted to be a director. I didn't even know what a director does as far as all of that type of stuff. And
nice.
Fast forward it to when I first started powerlifting. Would have been about 2018, 19, 20.
Yeah. Is this all in Tonga still?
No, I came back from Tonga to Australia. And then I was making content. It was purely just to lose weight, but I lost weight off camera before I started this little T-Pow page of my fitness journey. And, that started, and I just wanted to create. When I was watching other people, like I got onto Peter McKinnon very early too. I was like, he just makes the reels and stuff like look so cinematic, and it's just quality. I wanted to duplicate that but make it mine, so I started posting up. This is when it was frowned upon to post vertical videos. It wasn't a thing, so I started posting my content on stories. Then it kind of just emerged. And then when I met Australia's strongest man, shout out Josh Pataka, he's the one that actually got my foot in the door as far as being a powerlifter. He took me to a powerlifting gym, and then that's how when I started creating content for myself, because I seen how I was already doing a YouTube channel, which is still out there if you come across it. It's crazy.
What's it called?
The Power of Will. So
The Power of Will. There you go.
So
subscribe, man.
Because I found it hard to explain. So everyone's like, "Oh, what's your name, Viliami?" And they're like, "What?" So I was just like, "Oh, Will." And I'm a powerlifter, so the Power of Will. That's how the T-Power came along.
Wow.
And I just created content for myself. I think my first powerlifting coach noticed that. Then I went on to make content for his gym. And then there was a powerlifting couple that was getting married.
Yeah.
That were all in the same community, and that was my first wedding gig. And
But
man.
what did you use to shoot your wedding gig?
I had a strap with a Canon camera.
Yeah.
And that's how I was stabilizing the whole thing. And I was just stabilizing
That's
the
a
whole...
good trick. If you guys don't know that trick, man.
Yeah, man. You got to go back to the basics, how to stabilize one-on-one if your
Yeah.
camera doesn't have an inbuilt stabilizer.
That is the trick, man.
So that too. But before that, I did a music video clip I touched on before, which is from my iPhone 10 for my cousin Benny V. Shout out Benny V. So I did that on a gimbal that I bought from JB Hi-Fi as well.
Right.
Yeah, so all of that, I was just with a fisheye lens I got and a wide angle lens I got from eBay for like $9 or whatever, and it took like 2 weeks to get there. And then fast forward to just other stuff. Like I never knew that I knew what I wanted to do. I wasn't surrounded around people that were trying to do because I still didn't know what I wanted to do. And then I prayed about it because I actually wanted to pursue it.
Wow.
Fast forward, I moved up from Victoria to Brisbane, and then that's when I met Meliane. I grew up with Meliane too.
Yeah.
So we've known each other our whole life. So and then here.
Man.
Here we are.
Did you see how my ADHD was?
Yeah, you were like,
Yeah.
the thing with Willie is because he's been on this journey for a lot longer than Ami and I have.
Yeah.
A lot of what Ami and I know in terms of camera work and a lot of the knowledge behind it is purely from this one.
Yeah.
So it started from him, and then he pushed Ami and I to do our own, self development.
Yeah.
So
man, shout out to you, man. Really.
I don't know what I've done, but
I like it because like when you're talking and sharing your experience, I can understand like that there
relate.
because I've been there many times where I try to make it work with what I have. Yeah. Which sounds like you were
still doing that.
path.
Yeah, I'm still doing that.
In all honesty, though, that is part of the creative side as well, because you're really looking past what you actually have and okay, what can I do to still make it work? And you'll be surprised, man. Like it still turns out good, and I bet you the people that watch your stuff would never know what you went through to make it look like that. They would never know. They would never understand. To them, they're just like, "Wow, this is a gun video."
For sure. I was looking at one of his old videos. I think he shot. There was a boxing video, and he shot that. What was it, on an iPhone, or did you pull a camera? Anyways, I thought he was way ahead of his game at that time.
Yeah.
And I don't think he realized that until he looked back at it and he was like, I had something.
Yeah, for sure.
I think, just a lack of consistency. And I just, at that time, it was like a period of time where I was dabbling in everything.
Yeah.
And I think that's when I went to, I shot content for Australia's Strongest Man, who was a world champ for powerlifting because he was still a powerlifter before becoming a strongman. And then the next day we went together to shoot for my mate, and Troy, he owns a boxing gym in Melbourne. So he won his fight, and I was like, oh my gosh, if I could just get winners around me, there's content there. And I think just the lack of inconsistency on my end.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'll just think back and I was like, damn, if I was consistent, I would have been. But then I don't regret it because I wouldn't have met Meliane, and I never thought in my whole life I would ever link up with my nephew in a space like this.
Yeah, 100%.
There's a lot I learned from both of these guys. People think, oh, that's my nephew's the only one learning. I'm learning off my nephew too. Yeah. There's a lot of stuff that he does that I can implement into my Yeah,
100%. That's really cool because I believe in timing, you have the skill set, you might put it aside for a little bit, but it's never gone.
No.
That's the one thing. It's never gone. It was always there with you, but then this timing that it all came in, it was reignited, and then you had people to reassure you that what you got is it's actually really, really good.
Because it's just that by yourself type of stuff you went through. You're like, you didn't know where you know, what
Yeah.
direction you want to take it. But you know, you have
Yeah.
some sort of idea, you just don't know where you want to take it.
Yeah.
Or how you're going to get there.
Yeah, and it's good because you shot stuff that you actually liked,
Yeah.
right? Powerlifting stuff.
Yeah.
So usually that's probably the best place to start.
Yes.
And start with what you actually enjoy. And then when you hit a team, then you just expand from there, you know? And then, man, look at you guys now.
I just wanted to share, like, when we Mafana Media came together, I think for us the biggest thing was that it is it's God sent. That's what we truly believed in, and we're full running on faith. We might not be the best videographers or photographers or music producer in the game, but we just know that we're backed with faith, and we know that it's going to be big, wherever that will take us.
Yeah.
And so I just thought that's that's important to share, because it's great that we're sharing this story and the journey, but I truly believe that this is bigger than us, and wherever the journey takes us, we're just running on faith at the moment. So
That's so good.
Yeah.
That's so good. And I think that's the beautiful thing with the Polynesian people. It's like we're rooted to a bigger purpose,
Yes.
you know, and that's like God's plan.
Yeah.
So whatever His plan is for us,
And timing.
hopefully we just recognize it and take that step, right? And it looks like you guys are definitely taking that step and heading, because I think from you three, I'm pretty sure you guys do inspire a lot of people as well. Even with your little thing, right?
Yeah.
With your little spatula interviews, you're already like, man, sparking interest in New Zealand, you know? It's something so simple and so small, but when you see it, like on socials, it hits different. It really does, you know? So like, man, hats off to you guys.
Appreciate it.
Hats off to you guys. That's awesome. So I'm just wondering, like, want to give like a bit of a highlight of what kind of stuff you guys have been working on lately, just to give a bit of an idea for the people to know what content you guys have been working on. So footy is one of them. What else have you guys been shooting?
I think these two have been also working on business stuff. Like I think you guys did a real estate gig.
Oh yeah,
they're,
real estate.
Real estate
Nice.
as well. We did a product shoot for just an apparel. For a PI owned apparel. So
yeah, nice.
what else have we?
Yeah, other than rugby and events, that's pretty much our goals. But Vili's goal was always to get involved in film production.
Yeah.
So we're working behind the scenes
Towards
film making,
film
film thinking.
Yeah.
you know the thing.
Without like, I guess, revealing a bit too much, what's your guys' plans or hopes for the future with your media group?
Why are you looking at me?
See, you know, right? Like you know, like who to direct the questions.
I know where some, but she's, like I said before, she's the when we do a shit or something and someone hits me up and talking about price, I was like, Melanie, can you price this? So sorry.
That's okay. I think we're still quite open to what it might look like, but at the moment the vision is for Mafana Media to two different things: potentially be a marketing agency for videography, photography, music production.
Oh, nice.
For myself, I resonate when you say, storytelling, igniting emotion through your visuals. And that's something that resonates with me because there are lots of businesses out there who might not know how to market their businesses, and they might just need assistance storytelling. And we would love to be that central hub that if you need any type of, marketing services, that you'd come to Mafana Media. So that could be one vision. Another vision could potentially be, splitting the branches up where, Ami takes care of music production and he has his own little team where he'll support, movies, other music producers with his talents and skills. And with Vili, it's film creation. So he could have his own branch taking care of film production. I'm not sure what that will look like. And then for myself, I feel like I'm a bit of an all rounder. So I could I don't know. Lord, you just bless me with whatever
Everything. Everything.
Yeah.
Manage. That's what it is. Eh?
I need to be managed at times, to be honest.
No, yeah. So in terms of future vision and goals, we're still quite open to it. But I want to see them develop in their skills and really build a team and business out of it.
Yeah.
We also have there's more people that's part of the Mafana Media team. Shout out to the team.
Shout out to
Nice.
Shout out,
to
shout
the
out.
team.
And there are also on that journey where they love the creative space. They just don't know how to move through it. And even though we're still babies in the game too, we understand what it's like to really start off. And so we're taking them with us on this journey.
Yeah, nice.
And they too have their own little goals. And so whatever we can do to build that, run with it. But at the end of the day, it's God's plan. Whatever he has planned for us, we'll run with. But at the moment, we're just running on our God-given talent. And wherever in terms of the journey for Mafana Media, full faith.
Yeah, nice. Man, that's beautiful.
I hope that answers your question.
Yeah. It's like, it sounds like there's a lot of you have a lot of things that you could potentially do within the brand. Man, expanding the brand, that's mean, like already. And I think that's the beauty of having a team, is that there's so much you can potentially do in the future, like 2-3 years time, like who knows what could happen. But like, that's the strength that lies within you guys, right? I think also it's nice to have some options, and then like you said, put the faith in there and see which option there is, right? That you should take. I think that's pretty much like us going towards the end, at the end of this party here. Just it was more so to highlight like how you guys came to be, what you guys have gone through, and where you guys are trying to head in the future, which I think we've hit throughout this party. But I think just from my point of view, and just something I'll probably want to share so I can finish off with this with you guys. When I first came into this, like back in 2018, there wasn't like much Tongans. Yeah, wasn't much Tongans. There was myself. I think Issa was around as well. But talking with Issa, I think he came in like maybe a year after when I kind of already started. Yeah. So when I linked up with Issa, I was so happy. Yeah, I was so happy because it's another Tongan.
Someone relatable.
Yeah. Nothing against like, our other islanders, but it was just, for me, it was personal, right? Then fast track to when we shot the event, the Tongan event, I met more. I met more. You guys, Charles. So I think it makes me so proud, to be Tongan when I see more come into the game. So I just want to say thank you to you guys, for like choosing this path and coming in. Why are we getting emotional?
100%.
Why are we getting emotional? Like, I love the Samoans, I love the Nuans, I love all the Polynesians, but it just hits different when I see my own come in. So I just want to say thank you to you guys for choosing this path and going down this lane here. And I know that you guys are gonna inspire more. Really, really do. Because you don't know it, but like, you do really inspire me when I see your guys' social media and that stuff. It makes me so proud. Yeah. And I love to support like our Polynesians. I really, really do. So shout out to you guys.
Well, shout out you, man. Shout out you,
man.
honestly. I think if we didn't have people like yourself showing us the rope as far as like a mentorship or as a role model in general. And I believe just from what you just said earlier or just then that you're very passionate about this, and we're like that too. Like, we got a bit of ADHD in us, but it's good to know that to know that there are people like yourself that we can kind of reach out and lean on to. Like, I've already hit you up about some stuff and it places my confidence in you as a you know,
Yeah.
who you are as a person too. So I appreciate you for allowing us to be on your podcast.
Thank you. I appreciate that. But before we wrap up, I'm sure that there's been other people that have helped you guys along the way that are behind the scenes of your team. So I'll just give this time to you guys if you want to do some shout outs to them, and then we'll wrap it up from there. So is there any particular people you guys want to do shout outs? We'll start with you, Ami.
Shout out to the team, obviously.
Yep.
And the ones that aren't here. And yeah, also big shout out to mom and dad.
Yes.
Obviously they're always going to be behind me, encouraging me to do my best. But yeah, also shout out to Yisa as well. Yisa, yeah, I don't know Yisa a lot, but yeah, I guess the time that I've spent with Yisa, he's got a lot of knowledge of what I want to know and what I want to learn. So yeah, I guess he's kind of just re-sparked something that was kind of just going like this. So yeah, now he's given me that, like, I guess, hope
Yeah.
that
Nice.
there's someone who can actually like teach me a lot of things. Whereas these guys did spark it too, with like, oh, make a music, or make a beat for this, or make a beat for that, and then I'd go and I'd make it. But like to me, to them, they're like, oh, that's so good. But to me, it's like, it needs to be better, and stuff like that.
And that's a good way to think. That's a good way to think. Yeah.
And so when Yisa, yeah, I think we went to Yisa's little studio thing, and he was like, we were having conversation, and I was just watching him. Me and Billy went one time, and we were watching him, and we're just like, damn, all these projects he has, all his unreleased stuff. We're like, wow, this guy's crazy. But yeah, I didn't think Yisa was like that, because I thought he was just a videographer.
Yeah.
And then then
all
he
rounder that. Shout out you.
Shout out Yisa.
Yisa's
man.
to me Yisa's actually like he's that guy that I want to, like, I guess, spend more time with. But right now I've just been like trying to figure things out. But yeah,
that's nice. It's good because you connect on the musical side.
Yeah,
and
that's the one thing. Yeah, for me is like he knows all that stuff.
Yeah,
and yeah, he's also just giving me that, like, I guess, reassurance. Like, yeah, come in, I'll teach you this, that, like, let's make music and stuff like that. So yeah, he's basically become, I don't know if that's what he realizes, but like someone that I'd look up to musically now.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so yeah, shout out Yisa.
Shout out Yisa, man. Shot. Really.
I want to shout out God, to be honest. Man, it's just for bringing me on the path that I'm on, and it hasn't been all ups. It's also been some downs too. First of all, shout out Isa, Javier. You know what this wink means. Javier 676, shout you out. Shout yourself out too. You all the people that's helped me out a lot. Charles, B, all of them.
Man,
I just appreciate everyone that's kind of helped me. If I didn't drop any names down, sorry, my brain is not mega mind. But anyways, shout out everyone that's ever helped me out, and you know who you are.
Yeah, nice. So Mele.
Oh, okay. Well, first of all, I actually want to shout out to Charles and Frames by B, because they were the first, like you mentioned, Tongans that I saw in the game at that time, and that was the inspiration for me. I also want to shout out to my sister-in-law, Anne Fifita. So she's married to my brother, and she instilled a lot of the self-belief that I have today. It's because of her. So she's been a blessing, and I want to give her a shout out because she deserves it. She continues to instill that. sometimes I feel like I'm overconfident purely because of her. So shout out to you, Annie. Love you. And I think that's it. Like, blessings to you guys. Thank you,
Yeah.
Mark, for the opportunity, and
Okay.
extend that to the rest of our Mafana Media team.
Yeah.
Malia, Liliane, Mispa, Bubbles. Who else? Did I miss anyone? Ina. So yeah, just happy to be on this journey, and I think that's it. That's us.
Nice, man. What
Oh
a
wait,
team.
one more.
Yep.
Javier 676. Shout out to you.
Yeah, man.
And the reason why I shout out to Javier, so we connected a while back. Funny how the journey happened, but it turns out we were related when we originally connected. But the reason why I want to shout out to him is because he has been another person who has been very encouraging
Yeah, big time.
on this journey, and seeing him grow is awesome to see, because I saw Javier when he had no followers, but when you see a gift in somebody, and it's awesome to see that he's really living that today. So shout out to him, because he has been a backbone for us too in terms of like self-belief and encouragement as well. So we love you, Javier. And thank you, Isa. Isa has just come up on the journey within the year, and he's been a massive mentor to these two, and for me as well. So thank you, Isa, and I'm gonna stop crying now.
In other words, she's a proud mom.
Thanks, Mom.
Was there any more, or was it?
We're doing that.
Man, shock, guys. Yeah, shout out to add to what you guys are saying. Yeah, Javier and Nisa. Yeah, especially Javier. I only met Javier I shot him for Fresh TV. That's how I first met him. But I didn't talk to him properly because I'm working,
Yeah.
But then when I put him in for the potty, man, yeah, exactly. He's got a good heart, that one. Really good heart.
100.
So, that's the type of people you want to be around, And even Yisa, yeah, man. So, yeah. I think just on the last raps there, thank you again, guys, for coming on. So beautiful to hear your guys' stories. And, man, I think the future is going to be mean for you guys. It's going to be so good for you guys. Just to wrap up on the last shout out I want to do, shout out to Yak.
Yo,
Let's go.
You already know. You already know.
Can I get a shirt, please?
You already know. So that's Tommy, another Tongan.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
Shout out to Tommy.
Got your merch here.
We've met him,
Wearing
man.
it for today's
Tommy's
potty.
been in the game for quite a while, so you already know, bro. Get
Exactly,
it.
yeah.
Hoodies, shirts.
He's got some amazing apparel out there. So if you guys don't already, hit him up, follow along, whatever. But for the Mafana social media handles, I'll drop them in the description below, so you guys can follow along. But just again, thank you. Thank you so much for coming
Appreciate
on,
it.
man.
Thank you, Mark.
That's us. Later, fam.
Bye.